Well, here we are, back on the porch. It is a lovely day, and there's a spider. You can live, spider, just go away from me. That's all I ask. Um, so, this is the last life plan, diet plan I have done, or I was doing, before I started my Zepbound journey. So this journey, I'm going to shake it. It's on the table in a plant, sitting up. I'm trying to make it so I have my whole self in the picture. Someday I'll get it right. It's a GoPro, so I can't see it. Like if someone is doing that from a phone and they have it reversed, they can see where exactly they are. I can't see that with a GoPro. Not the one I have anyway. So anyway, what was the life plan I was doing before I started my Zepbound journey? I was doing intermittent fasting, IF. I was great at intermittent fasting. It followed my lifestyle to a T. I absolutely loved it. So I'm just going to get some different facts here. So now when I was intermittent fasting, I started that in 2022. And I started it about the same time I started Zepbound. So it was about June, July when I started intermittent fasting. I read a book by Jen Stevens, and I think it's Fast, Feast, Repeat. It had really good sound science in it. I really enjoyed the book. I enjoyed all her teachings, all the research that she had done. She's an educator, so she knows how to research. I'm an educator in a biology field. And so I just really enjoyed the research. Then she pointed me to Dr. Jason Fung, who is a doctor in Canada who was studying, believe it's more diabetes, and he had noticed some great results for diabetes with intermittent fasting. So he read a book. Now let me see if I can go into my little Kindle app, because I try to keep most of my books on Kindle, primarily because I can carry them with me. Like I'm going on a trip to Australia for a couple months, and I can take my books with me. I can take my movies with me. So it's very, very nice that way. So let me see if I can go through my stuff. I had gotten rid of a lot of stuff off my app that I had previously read. So let me go into my library. And then I also had the Jason Fung book on Audible. So when I'd walk in the gym, I could listen to it on Audible, which was really nice. The Obesity Code. Yeah. Unlocking the Secrets of Weight Loss by Dr. Jason Fung. So that was that one. Fast, Feast, Repeat, Jen Stevens. So that was kind of my initial foray into intermittent fasting. I had heard about it. I've had friends that told me that other friends had had a lot of success on it. My friend who was doing HCG with me at the same time as me, she had a friend that did it, and she did 24. And I thought, you know what? I could probably do 24. But then I read the book, and it said, you want to start out slow and then increase your fast time. So I started out 16/8. I found that to be extremely easy. I don't love breakfast, so I loved it. And then I increased it to 18/6, and then I went to 24, no problem. I could do 20 and 4, no problem. As a matter of fact, I was going through my Zero app, which is a fasting app that one of the intermittent fasting foodie had recommended on when I was watching her YouTube channel, and I really liked it. It worked out really well for me, and so I used that, and I did it for probably about 2.5 years. When I go back, I haven't done it for 80 days or something like that, because I'll tell you why. But my total fast were 928. So I was doing it every day, really good. I maybe didn't do it as well when I went on a vacation, but then I would get right back on it. So maybe I would do like a 14 and what is that? 14 and 10, so 24 hours, yeah. So, but not that I was eating that whole time. I just would eat within a 10-hour period of time. So when I was doing 20 and 4, I would eat within a 4-hour period of time. So I would eat the beginning, and I would have just a little light breakfast, and then I would have a dinner with my husband. It worked out really well. Sometimes I did not even, I would eat just OMAD, one meal a day. Um, and I would do that about 4 o'clock. And then I would fast. So, yeah, I really did really well. My average, when I was fasting, my average fasting a month was 600 hours, which means I was fasting 20 hours of each day, and I was eating within a 4-hour window. Sometimes I would do a 36-hour fast. I would extend the fast when I wanted to try and drop. And I'll tell you what, it did really great for me at first. It did so well. And my stomach felt better. My insulin, my blood sugar levels really went down, dropped into the normal range real quickly, because with PCOS, you're insulin resistant. So the intermittent fasting was great for the insulin resistance part, where you would spike your sugars. But I got to where if I spiked my sugar when I was eating, it would come down real quickly. So, and that's really what you want. If you eat a carb, your insulin is going to spike. From what I understand, I'm not a doctor, but it spikes and then it comes down. Now, when I had started this in June. My brother came to visit the next year after I'd been doing it for about 7 or 8 months. My brother came to visit, and he had had some major motorcycle accidents and everything, and so he had gained a lot of weight when he was recovering. He was a football player. He had scholarships to colleges and things like that. He was a really big football player, and he was a wide receiver, and he could never gain weight. And then after his accidents, he put on, and he was like over 300 pounds. And so he started intermittent fasting with me, and his blood pressure was out of control. His blood sugars were out of control. And so he had the little diabetic monitor where we do the finger prick and we check our blood insulin. So we got more of those, and we would test each test, and our blood sugars were fantastic. And his came down just immediately too. His blood pressure came down. It was so bad he had to take his blood pressure and send it into his doctor on the regular. So his blood pressure came down. And then when he went back out west, to Oregon, Washington area, he told me, he's like, I think, where did Chris start? 376? I think 376. And he was down almost below 300 by the next winter, because he went back at the end of the summer. And next winter he was down 76 pounds just about. So yeah, it worked really well. And for me it worked really well. But my body has a tendency to get used to something, and then it starts, I don't know, it just kind of knows the system, and then it starts working against me. And so I started at 246. That's what I found. 246 is what I started at, and I got down to 206.6. So I almost lost 40 pounds with that. Fantastic. I was so thrilled. But again, my body is efficient, I guess. I mean, it kind of starts saying, hey, you're losing weight. I don't know if I like that. So let me go to my weight trends in my Renfo app. So I lost to the 206, and I was at 206 on 6/1/23. And I kept it. I actually got down, oh wait, there was my lowest, 205. I got to 205.8 at one time. And then it started to creep on. And by a year later, 6/23/25, no, is that a year later? So 6/29/23, I was 205. And then I just kind of maintained. And but then by the time I started really checking it, we had vacations, but I was still intermittent fasting. I really was. I knew how to do it. I was doing it, but I just wasn't weighing because I feel like I can get a little psychologically crazy about weighing. I mean, it just is not, it's something that my brain doesn't handle very well. I'm trying to weigh now on the regular, but I can get compulsive, and I don't like that about me when I get compulsive about my weight. So, but by 8/17/23 was the last time I weighed, and I was at 206. Then I weighed 6/23/25 on my scale. Now, that was after I had been to the doctor. So I went to the doctor. Obviously, I go every May. Not obviously, but I go every May, beginning of June. And my weight stayed constant. I remember I had gotten up to 213 in 24. And then I came back a year later, and I was at 223. So I'd gained another 10 pounds over the year. And I was still fasting. And that was very frustrating to me. And that's when I told my doctor, I want to do something about this. I can't get this. Can't start gaining all this weight back that I've worked so hard, and I'm still fasting, and it's coming back on. So that's when I made the journey to Zepbound. But yeah, I like intermittent fasting. So when I went back to the doctor, I was like 223 point something, and I was so frustrated, and I said, hey, heard about Zepbound, what do you think of it? And I also talked to the nurse practitioner, and she had PCOS as well, and we were talking about different things in our body, or reasons why someone has PCOS, because no one else in my family has PCOS, just me. My older sister may have something with it. I know my daughter does. Now my daughter gets that directly from me. But I know my older sister didn't have kids, but that was also a choice. But my younger two sisters, they both were able to have children, no problem. They have regular periods and everything. So they didn't suffer really with PCOS. But for some reason I did. But yeah, so on June 23rd, 2025, that's when I started my Zepbound journey. And I was at my scale, so I lost a couple pounds before I started, because I went at the beginning of June. Then we had to get my insurance to okay the Zepbound. I am a very fortunate one. My insurance covers it. I only pay $24.99. But I think they okayed it because of my PCOS diagnosis. So I think that was a lot of it. And Zepbound seems to be one of those drugs that does help people with PCOS. So yeah, so I was okay to have it. If I wasn't okay through my insurance, I would have had to go through my doctor, and he can get it for $500. And so I would have paid $500. At that time, we were looking at, people were paying $1,500. I don't know that I would have paid $1,500, but $500, I'm like, yes, I'm willing to pay $500 a month if this is going to help me. So if I had to pay $500 a month, by this time I would have paid $2,500, because I'm going to be going on my 5th box of Zepbound, and this is my 3rd month of 5.0. My doctor and I both agree I'm losing at a nice, healthy rate of an average of about 1.4 to 1.7 pounds a week. I feel that's healthy. I feel like it keeps my skin from getting too loose. I'm building my muscle back, so I'm doing good that way, but I'm trying to I don't want to lose this, but I don't want it to get all saggy. My legs, I can see, are a little more wrinkly, but I'm really starting to lift for my legs. So hopefully I'll build up muscle there. So there's going to be the compromise of gaining muscle and losing fat. And muscle weighs more than fat. That is my one thing I really have to keep in mind. Even though I have lost, I feel like I'm not as heavy as I am sometimes. Now I look in the mirror and I see my fat cheeks. Now I've always had chubby cheeks and chubby face. This is one of the first places I gain it, is in my face. I'm not one of those people who have a skinny face and a thick body. I gain it really solidly throughout, predominantly a little more in my belly. But yeah, I'm pretty balanced with how I gain it. So that I'm very fortunate that way. But I will gain it in my face. I mean, you see pictures of me, I could be, a size 8 in my face. I'm still going to have chubby cheeks. I just am. I have real high cheekbones. I think that's some of the Cherokee in me, a little bit of high cheekbones. Because I don't think the Irish and German have predominantly high cheekbones, but that's where I get my blue eyes. So yeah, so I'm a mixture of many different nationalities. So I can get all this stuff from somewhere. But yeah, so I started on 623.25 on my scale, on my Renpro. 621.4 is where I started. As of this morning, now I don't like to weigh on Saturdays because my real weigh-in day is Thursday. That's my weigh-in day. So my weigh-in day on Thursday, I was at 202.2. But I just had to weigh in. We went bowling yesterday. We went to Texas Roadhouse. I ate one Texas Roadhouse roll with a little schmear, just a smear of their butter. I ate a side salad with a little honey mustard dressing. And my husband and I shared the beef tips, where it's beef tips, mashed potatoes, mashed potatoes, onions, and some gravy, and that was delicious. But I eat about maybe a fifth of what he eats, so I eat a fifth, and then I had a side salad and a piece of bread, and he had the rest of it, a side salad. I don't even want to tell you how many bread rolls he ate. He loves those bread rolls. It's a danger zone for him because he had lost 10 pounds, but I guarantee you he is not 10 pounds thinner today. Now he is eating more because of his accident. For the first time of his life, he's getting headaches. He's in pain. He's at his massage this morning. So yeah, he is now realizing that is not fun. It's hard to have headaches. I had a headache this morning. The weather's starting to change a little bit. I love it. I love the fall. But when it starts to change and it changes the barometric pressure around me, I start getting these compound headaches right through here, right through here. Yeah, so I have to be careful. We did go to the gym one time this week on Thursday. I wouldn't allow him to go for over a week after his accident. And he did not do his full routine. He did a little bit and lower weights. But yeah, he didn't do his normal routine. He can lift more than a young man. I mean, he can bench, I don't know, 330, 340, several times. So I don't know what his, one bench level is, but he was a pipe fitter. He lifted 400-pound pipe on his shoulder and was a helper. So he would have two, the other one would have kind of two. He's very strong. And then he'd walk up a ladder with it. So yeah, he's very strong. Thank God, because I think that's what saved him in his accident. I think if it had been me, I would have been wrecked. Yeah, so Um, but yeah, we're still in the process of looking for a vehicle. But anyway, I was going to tell you what I weighed this morning. I'm so sorry. I weighed 201.8. So I lost another 0.4 pounds. So let's see. Last week, after the accident, after all the stress, and I had gained, I was at 204. Now I'm at 201.8. So what is that, 2.2 pounds? I'll take it. 2.2 in a week. About a week. Yeah. Now, remember, tomorrow's football. This is Saturday. Tomorrow's football. We's gonna eat. So, yeah, I'll probably have to go again, get down there. But if I lose a pound a week, I am thrilled. I am tickled. That's when I gain, I'm not tickled. But I was just in trying on some of my jeans. Now, I have jeans from a size 12 to a size 16. Every pair of jeans that I tried on fit me. The 16s were really loose, but they fit loose enough where I could still wear them. You know, they're not too loose, but they fit loose. My size 14s fit nice. I can get a couple fingers in there. They fit nicely. No bulgy belly or anything like that. My size 12 fit solidly perfect. Now, if I sat down, I could have a little bit of muffin top, but they fit perfect. Just slightly tight. If I wanted to wear them tight, wear a tight pair, that would be good. But they also stretch out when you wear them for a little bit. If you have a size 12, and they have some stretch to them, if you wear them for a little bit, then they stretch out, and then they're like slightly loose, you know, around the waist. So it fits just perfect. But I'm wearing this top is an extra large, and it's fitting really nice and loose. I mean, you know, it's comfortable. This shirt I just got at Costco. It's on sale for $12 at Costco. But this is a large. So yeah, so this is a large top. Yeah, this is my large top from Costco. Now, I'm sure they're meant to be oversized. I'm not going to go as far as saying they're not meant to be oversized. But it's a large. And I think at 201, if I hadn't had a lot of muscle, I would still be an extra large for sure. But I think because I do have the muscle, I'm wearing my leggings from Costco. Now, I would not wear these out. These are for around the house. But my leggings, I'll stand up. These are a large. And they are perfect. You know, because leggings, you want them a little tight. Now, right here is my belly. I told you, this is kind of one of the places I gain it. My belly, I would have to wear a shirt over it. I would never not wear a shirt over my belly because it's still an apron belly. I call it my kangaroo pouch. You can call it a kangaroo pouch. You can call it an apron belly. You can call it a fupa. But yeah, I have that. But if I have a shirt over it, I feel nice and comfortable in these. I feel like I can wear them. I got these 3 weeks ago, and I wouldn't have dared worn them. I would not, because they were too tight, and now I'm like, oh, these are nice. I like them. So yeah, that's my week. I'm going to try and make these shorter. Now I don't have to talk about any more diets. So what am I going to talk about next? I don't know. Probably just what I've lost that week. Kind of keep a record of it. Keep my motivation up. Hopefully I sound a little more upbeat today because my husband feels better. It is gorgeous. Gorgeous. I'm gonna show you around just a little bit because it's so beautiful out here today. So let me grab the GoPro. So this is my patio. We built a barn dominium during COVID because we had to have a place to stay. We were living in an RV. But this is property that we had. We kept 2 acres. And so, yeah, this is my patio. Hopefully it's catching it. It's hard to tell. But yeah, I have all my stuff. Then I can come out here and I'll watch some YouTube. I'll watch some Manjaro pictures, videos. I'll watch some Zepbound. I love watching some of the Manjaro's YouTube videos from England, all the Great Britain people. I love their channels. They are so thorough. They've been doing it longer. So let me see. If I say I am 201.4, now hopefully I get me on this, 201.4 pounds to kilograms, that is 91.354 kilograms. So that's what I am now. How about 201.4 to stones? So I am, hey, stop that. I am 14.36 stones. I love the stone method. That's fun because when you hear them go down a stone, it's like a nice little marker or a measurement, you know, to say that you're a stone lighter. So yeah, so I'm a little over 14 stones, but that's okay. I'm getting down. So I'm getting towards my 13 stone mark. Ooh, can I be in the 13 stone? So if you want to know, if you are not from any country other than America, you may not know stones and things like that. I had to do some research on it too. So a stone is 14 pounds. So 14 times 14 is 196 pounds. So my goal is to get exactly 14 stone or under 14 stone. So if I can get 13 stone point 9 or something, then I'll be under 200. I'll be under 14 stone. So that's my next goal. So maybe I'll have a little party when I turn under 14 stone. And that'll put me about 195 pounds or so. I'll take it. I would love that. It's only 6.8 pounds. That is getting in the doable range, maybe by the time I go to Australia, because I'm going in the beginning of November. So we'll see. Fingers crossed. Have a great day. A bee just buzzed me. I'm allergic to bees. Have a great day. I hope your fall is looking like my fall. It's getting gorgeous. It's still a little warm. I'm not going to wear this jacket. But, yeah. Have a good one. Bye.